Hey guys, welcome to Chris's Beer Reviews. Today is Thursday, January the 2nd, 2014. We actually just came back from a long Christmas and New Year's holiday break. Hope everyone is back at work, school, whatnot, safe and sound. Hope everyone had a wonderful holiday. But anyway, today's review is going to be coming out of the Lagunitas Brewing Company out of Petaluma, California. And it's actually a beer that I have yet to try. Not very familiar with this style, with it being a hybrid style brew, guys. But it is a Lagunitas Little Sumpin Wild Ale. Did a little bit of research, checked it on Beer Advocate. Let's see, Beer Advocate. The Beer Advocate reviewers gave it a score of 91, which is an outstanding score. Beer Advocate actually gave it a score of 92, which is also outstanding. Comes in 8.8% alcohol by volume and 72.51 on the International Bitterness Unit. It says here that it is fermented with the West Mall yeast strain, which I'm not very familiar with. It says its availability is summer, which I've been noticing that a lot in the liquor stores and beer stores that carry craft beer. They tend to carry a lot of different beers out of season. It says that its availability is in the summer. It comes on bottle, on tap. You can get it in a growler fill or also from the cask. Do not understand why the liquor store, and it was actually bought at a liquor store here locally in my town in West Tennessee, but it was actually a liquor store that I bought one time before, bought craft beer, pretty much bought the last little bit of what they had. Their distributor was actually bought out by an InBev company, and so anyway, they stopped selling craft beer for a while. But the other day I went in, actually on New Year's Eve, stopped in the liquor store and was just going to look, possibly getting a bottle of wine or a pint of something, and noticed that they had a lot bigger selection than the last time that they had carried craft beer. So I kind of questioned the owner. The owner said that they found a new distributor and that they were going to try their hardest to keep it in stock all the time. So, I guess you guys could say I was pretty excited. I've said before that this town is pretty dry when it comes to craft beer. I mean, you can find domestics all day long, but craft beer is pretty much a no-go here in this town. But there's actually 2 liquor stores that are carrying craft beer now. There's a gas station probably about 10 minutes south of town. Then there's another gas station, I think it's heading out east of town, that they're probably about 5 to 10 minutes as well outside of my town, that carry a few craft beers. So it's slowly moving into my actual town. I usually have to buy it in North Mississippi, which is about a good 45-minute drive where I found it. So there's, like I said, several gas stations and now 2 liquor stores, one being my go-to liquor store. So anyway, like I said, it's coming out of the Lagunitas Brewing Company out of Petaluma, California. It's their Little Sumpin Wild Ale. And like I said before, it's a hybrid style beer. And when I say hybrid, I did a little bit of research. Some of the reviewers on Beer Advocate actually say that this is kind of like a mix of a typical American-style IPA with the hop characteristics and bitterness, so forth. But it's also mixed in with a Belgian-style Trappist ale. They use a lot of spices in this, is what I've read. So it kind of gives it more of a Belgian ale approach. mixed with an American-style IPA, which I'm not very familiar with. It sounds very interesting, and it got a great score. Before we move on, let's see, I checked it on Beer Advocate, but I need to do something. I've yet to use this on a review, but I actually downloaded an app, which is the Rate Beer app. So it's very handy. You just open the app, let's see, and you go to scan. I actually started a Rate Beer account, so it kind of keeps up with everything. But it has a barcode scanner. So you just go here, boom, scan it, it searches, let's see, right here. It pulls up actually quite a few lists of different Lagunitas beers on that scan, but it says here that it is to be served in a Trappist glass, a tulip, or a tumbler, which don't have a Trappist style glass. I have a tulip glass, and I have a Stein, and I also have just regular what do you call it, pint glasses. I typically pour my IPAs into either a tulip or a pint, but I'm breaking out the goblet. I've used this in a review before, and it's as closest as I could get to a Trappist style glass. It's not, I wouldn't really say a Trappist style, but for this particular type of brew, this kind of, to me, goes well with it. So, like, it really matters, in my opinion. But I do like to have different variety of glasses, kind of a break from the norm. So anyway, Rate Beer actually gives it a better score than Beer Advocate, which is usually unheard of. For the particular beer, it gives it a 98, which is a damn near perfect score. For the style, it gives it a 96 with a typical rating of 3, almost 4 out of 5 stars. So that's a damn good score, guys. Here it does list it as 73 IBUs with 8.8, the same for the alcohol by volume. But it says that this particular beer is the big sister of the Little Sumpin Ale. But it says it's loaded with malted wheat for a curious malt foundation and a light color. It says, but our Belgian yeast leaves a huge flavor and complexness, whatever. It says the admins say this is not a wild ale. I don't understand. But anyway, enough bullshit, guys. Let's go ahead. Let's crack this thing open. Let's see what it looks like. I've wasted enough of you guys' time talking. So, let's see what it looks like. This thing has got a huge head. But it pours different. I was thinking that this thing was going to be a darker pour. Very carbonated, kind of a medium amber golden color. Like I said, a lot of carbonation. I see a lot of carbonation bubbles floating to the top. I'm actually seeing what looks like either hop or yeast particles floating inside the body of this beer. It pours about a good 2.5 finger head, kind of off-white in color. It's semi-creamy but very carbonated head. So far, decent head retention. Very, very, very pretty looking, guys. Let's go ahead and put a nose on it. Okay, yeah. This thing definitely doesn't smell like an IPA to me. I'm getting more malt characteristics, more malt, more grain, more yeast. I can definitely smell the Belgian style ale in this beer. Very, very typical smelling for a Belgian, or well, I would say a Belgian / American IPA. I'm not getting any American India Pale characteristics on the nose. A little bit of grapefruit, a very, very faint hint of citrus, but I'm getting more malts, more yeast characteristics. A little bit of and I've said this before, but I kind of, it's just what I pick up. It's an actual, I guess you could say I can really smell it. A buttered bread notes, very bready. I guess that's coming in with the yeast, but it's got a very buttered bread style characteristic on the nose. But like I said, it's a very beautiful looking beer. It's I wouldn't say it's completely translucent, but it's semi-translucent. I mean, it has a little bit of haziness, but nothing major. Still seeing a little bit of carbonation, but I'm definitely seeing the yeast or the hop particles. I do not know what style hops were used for this beer, but it's supposed to be hoppy on the taste. So we'll go ahead and take a drink and be the judge of that. Okay, I'm definitely getting the India Pale characteristics on the palate. It's a pretty heavy-bodied beer. A lot of I'm getting it's dry, but I'm getting some sticky hop oil resins on the palate. Definite oily and sticky residue, guys. I'm taking that is from the hops, but this thing is a very high ABV, like I said, 8.8, almost a 9%. But for a beer with that high of alcohol content, this beer, I would say the alcohol content is very well hidden within this beer. I wouldn't say it's completely hidden, but it's not right up front. It kind of reminds me of an Imperial IPA. It has, I can taste the alcohol. It has a little bit of a boozy characteristic, but nothing overpowering. It starts off with a little bit of the malt sweetness, but it's a very, very, very soon after, immediately followed by a hop bitterness, and that's where they're getting the India Pale characteristics, but very tasty. Very, very delicious beer, guys. Like I said, Lagunitas, a little something wild ale. It's a hybrid beer, guys. Definitely smells like a Belgian style on the nose, but it tastes, to me, it tastes more like an Imperial IPA, an English style Imperial IPA on the palate. But it's very delicious. Guys, if you see us in the stores, pick it up. One thing that I failed to mention, was the lacing. Not a lot, very, very minute, spotty lacing on the side, but nothing major. A little bit, but not really like an IPA. It leaves a very little lacing, guys, but tasty as hell. Would not recommend this for a heavy session, with it being a heavy-bodied beer and higher in alcohol content. It's easily drinkable, yet it's heavy-bodied, and it does have a higher ABV. So 2 or 3 of these, guys, and you're going to be feeling really good. It could get you in trouble, but it's good for like after work if you're wanting a stronger beer, maybe 2. And I would say 2 to 3 of these, that would be my limit. I wouldn't go over 3 of these. I actually bought these, I bought 2 of them in a mixed 6-pack, which that's gonna possibly, there's possibly going to be more reviews from that later on the weekend. So not anything yet in stone. I'm not for sure if I'm going to review the other 2 that I bought, the other 2 styles, but I did buy this in a mixed 6-pack. But very drinkable. I'm going to take one last chug, guys. I've took enough of your time, so one last drink. We're going to call it a day. As always, drink safe, drink responsible, and cheers, guys. Hope everyone has a great weekend, by the way.